This is Two Chicks Talkin Flicks, where we review movies. Love them or hate them, someone's got to do it. So enjoy the show. Hi, I'm Sarah, and I'm flying solo this week, and this is Two Chicks Talkin Flicks and whatever else gets in the mix. And I am here this week with Sarah Alosi, who is also a podcaster. She works or owns the company Favorite Daughter Media. And Sarah, would you like to introduce yourself?
Well, I think you've nailed it. I have nothing else about me in my life. Hi, I'm Sarah Alosi. It is so fun to be here for a special Valentine's episode. Thank you so much for bringing me on as your co-host. I am honored. It's going to be so much fun.
Yes. And well, I'm so grateful that you were able to take time out of your busy schedule to come join me, because I love to talk about Valentine's Day. I was so excited. We were going to do a horror Valentine's Day movie, and then my co-host wasn't able to come, and so here we are. Had to just go off the cuff and come up with a different idea. So
I think this is a great idea.
Me too. So basically, I am naming this Rom-Com Mountain. So it is our top rom-com movies, basically our Mount Rushmore of rom-coms. Now, I only picked movies that I love. I didn't pick like other, a lot of people would pick this movie or that movie. I didn't pick those because that's not my favorite. So I picked my favorites. How did you do your list?
So I was trying to be a great podcast guest and doing research ahead of time. So I was looking up like best rom-coms of all time, and I realized I have not seen 90% of them.
Right.
So I definitely only went with the ones that are like my favorite, that like I can watch them like 14 times in a single day and not get bored.
Yes.
But also I'm probably going to make a lot of people very sad by the ones that I did not choose, because I just have not seen them.
Exactly. Like, okay, so one that is not on my list. I love the movie. I've seen it a ton of times. We've actually covered it, all the parts of it, on our podcast, but it's My Big Fat Greek Wedding. And the reason why I didn't pick it is because I don't feel like it's a rom-com. I feel like it's more about her and her family. A little bit of romance, but it's mostly about her and her family. Because if you took away the fact that they're getting married, it's still about the family. So I didn't add that one.
See, that was me with Love Actually, because Love Actually is one of my favorite movies, but it's my favorite Christmas movie. So like, is it a rom-com? I guess, but really it is a Christmas movie.
So it may or may not be on my list.
Oh, that means that we won't have a duplicate. Perfect. Because I'm just like, if you steal my any movie on my list, like we're gonna fight.
And I also felt the same way about My Best Friend's Wedding. I was like, It's not a rom-com because she doesn't end up with the guy.
Well, that just means it has a happy ending.
There is that. Okay. So how did you come up with your list? Like, what did you have different categories? Did you do old ones, new ones? Or you just looked at a list and was like, oh, these are the ones that are my favorite?
It was just the ones that I have seen so many times, but that I will still watch them a million times.
Mm-hmm.
And but then I also had like which is a rom-com, which is just like a chick flick. So some of these, if there's someone out there really judging it like this is not a rom-com, I apologize. But also you're taking this too seriously.
Right.
And that's a personal problem.
Okay. So how do we want to get started? Do you just want to put what your top 14 were, or?
Well, I feel like we should do this like a draft.
Okay.
So like one at a time, and we can't have duplicates. And like this will be my lineup of like the top 10 rom-coms of all time. And you'll have your lineup.
Okay. So I have my top 5 already. I marked them down. So what's your top, your number 1? Or do you want to start from the bottom and work your way up?
Oh no, we're starting with number one because if you say this one before I get to say it, I'm going to be really sad.
Well, you get to go first. You're my guest.
Perfect. Okay. So my number one rom-com of all time, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
Okay. I don't have that one.
How? I was so worried that like that's the one that you were going to steal from me.
Nope. I don't have that one. I do love the movie. I own the movie. It's not on my list.
I don't know if we can be friends. Like that is just like the epitome of like quality rom-com.
That's true. And as I'm looking at my list, some of mine aren't exactly rom-coms. So like my number one, it's not technically a rom-com, but it makes me laugh. So that's why I put it on there.
Okay, let's hear it.
Mine is Dirty Dancing.
You know, I haven't seen that.
Oh.
I know. I told you, like, I was going through the list and, like, I hadn't seen, like, 90% of these, like, classic rom-coms. I haven't seen Dirty Dancing.
Yeah, it's not technically. So I'm very, what is the word? Like I'm very flippy floppy. So I was going through the list. Like first I just sat there and I thought of my favorite rom-coms or my favorite like romance movies and I wrote them down. And then when I couldn't think of anything more, I went and I started Googling like 50 best rom-com or whatever. And I would see the list. And as I was going through it, I was like, that's more like a teenage love story. No, that's more of this. That's more of that. And I was like, oh, but I already kind of put one on there that is sort of like that. So I'm very hypocritical.
It's your show. We'll allow it.
Yeah. My list makes no sense, but it's my list. So yeah, Dirty Dancing, it has been my favorite movie since I was 5. I love this movie. And is it a rom-com? No. Is it my favorite? Yes. So it's on the list.
See, I did that. Like I looked at the top list of like top ever rom-coms and there were so many that I just hadn't seen that like my favorites are more of like obscure.
Yeah.
So I had to instead look at like most underrated rom-coms of all time. And then I found mine. Then I was like, okay, how did I forget that one? How did I forget that one? Like that one's number one. So like I had to go a little off cuff with those.
So what is your number 2?
I'm curious if you've seen this one. About Time.
I have. It is not on my list. So you were good.
Your taste is so questionable.
But yeah.
What's yours?
So my number 2 is Never Been Kissed.
I haven't seen it.
What? Well, that's okay. I mean, this is what this is for. These are my favorite. Those are your favorite. And other people might feel justified when they hear one of ours come on their list.
Yeah. Like About Time, it doesn't matter how many times I've seen it. I will sob like a baby.
That's with Rachel McAdams, right?
Yes, it's Rachel McAdams. It's also like several different actors from Harry Potter, which is how I judge a good movie, is like how many Harry Potter actors are in this movie. And that one has 2, which is pretty good numbers.
That is pretty good numbers.
Yeah. So, you know, like it's got to make the list.
I love it. I can't believe you've never seen Never Been Kissed. Drew Barrymore.
It's Drew Barrymore. Yeah. Is that the one where she like pretends to be in high school?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But does she fall for a high school kid or does she fall for a teacher?
A teacher.
And does the teacher know she's not actually in high school?
No.
Oh, that sounds problematic.
Yeah. I mean, but this was the 90s when...
It would never have been made in 2023.
Yeah, no. Mm-mm.
Like so they tried that with Pretty Little Liars. It didn't go well.
Like the only thing they would have done differently, I think, is the teachers would know that she's not a student. Like, I think that would be the only, like, they would pick like a couple teachers and be like, okay, so this lady's coming, she's going to pretend to be a student, and he'd be
she's actually like 40.
New, you know?
Yeah. So it's just like the romantic version of like 21 Jump Street.
Yeah, yeah. And regarding Pretty Little Liars, he liked her at the bar. I feel like that's different. She lied about her age. So I feel like that kind of...
But then he finds out that she's his student, and like it doesn't... Oh,
yeah,
like,
I know.
People need to be in jail.
But he was also like 21.
He was not. Did you look at him? He was like 40.
Well, okay. In real life, he was older, but he was playing like a 21, 22-year-old, and she was 17.
I don't like it.
I'm not saying it was good. I'm just saying it's not bad.
This has become a very controversial episode.
Hey, controversy sells, right?
It does. It does.
So what is your number 3 pick?
Okay, so number 3 is one of the greatest of all time, A Cinderella Story.
Okay. Which one? Oh.
The original.
Okay. The one with
Hitler Duff, Chad Michael Murray.
Okay.
No, not Ever After. Not Ever After.
Well, that's why I asked you which one, and then you said the original. I was like, oh, it must be Ever After.
Oh, no, like it's called A Cinderella Story.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, we've actually done that one on our podcast, so.
I used to watch that like at least twice a week.
I would say that one's probably my favorite over the other ones as well.
Yeah, that one. And they did like a bunch of other ones that were like, nah. But the original one is fantastic. I set up a computer with a DVD player literally in my closet when I was a kid. And I would set up like a sleeping bag and I would just like lock myself in my closet and watch that movie, which says a lot about why I'm really weird. I've always been this weird.
Hey, that's okay. We used to record in our closet, so lots of things happen in closets.
Famous quote. Lots of things happen in closets.
So for my next one, I love that you brought up Love Actually, because I had I wrote my list and then I did a bracket situation, kind of like the Sweet 16 in basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I made different categories because I found that there was a lot of similar themed movies on my list. And so I put Love Actually and He's Just Not That Into You in a bracket together. And I had to pick. And I literally circled it and said most difficult because I love both movies. However, I think I had to like go over the characters in my head and I had to decide which one I thought was the most important to me. And of both movies, the most characters that I cared the most about getting together was Jennifer Goodwin and Justin Long. So I had to go with my third pick is He's Just Not That Into You.
How do I not remember Jennifer Goodwin being in that movie?
I don't know, but she's like the main person.
Because she's the main person in one of the movies on my list.
Oh.
I love her, but I do not remember her being, and He's Just Not That Into You. So you did pick Love Actually? Love
Actually is on my list of 10, but He's Just Not That Into You.
He's Just Not That Into You won this one.
Yeah. They are on my Mount Rushmore of movies.
Okay. See, it's been so long since I've seen that one. I have to watch it again.
Oh, it's so good.
I was talking to someone about this and like I gave them my list and the response was, He's Just Not That Into You isn't on the list. And this was a guy.
Wow.
Like, judging my list of rom-coms and being like, no. You got this wrong.
Yeah. Well, we're a Justin Long stand account here at Two Chicks Talkin Flicks.
I support.
We literally we have not watched this one yet, but we've watched like 5 of his movies. And He's Just Not That Into You is one of my favorites.
I don't remember him being in that.
Yeah, he's like they're the main two
God, it's been so long.
Yeah, like she goes to the bar that he's working at and she's talking to him about this guy that she went on a date with that kind of ghosted her, and it turns out to be his friend, and he's like trying to help her, and then they kind of become a relationship.
Okay.
It's so good.
I'm gonna have to go back. You're gonna be sending me home with like homework.
Yes.
Just like watch all these movies. I'm never gonna have a social life again.
So what is your next one?
I already don't. Okay, so number 4. Legally Blonde.
Ooh, I didn't put it on the list, but I do love that movie.
This was another one that I kind of had an internal struggle with because like I think of it more chick flick like than rom-com because I think the love story is like a side character.
Yes.
To like this is like a female empowerment. I don't know if I can curse on your show. Badass. Like badass woman. Like this is about her. Mm-hmm. But I also like I love the movie so much that it didn't feel right to not have it on my list.
Yeah, I almost had it on my list as well. And then I was like, it's more of a comedy. But I respect it and I allow it.
Thank you for your support.
You're welcome. So my next one is Just Friends. Which is
that's a good one.
Kind of in the same vein, I guess, as Legally Blonde. But, you know.
That's the one with Ryan Reynolds when he's fat?
Yes.
Okay.
I have seen this movie. So I know you said you could watch your top one over and over and over again, like 14 times a day. Well, this one, I have seen it. One time I got bit by a spider.
What?
And my foot swelled like 3 times its size, and I went to the hospital, had to get some medication, and they were like, you have to sit at home. You can't do anything. Your foot has to be up all 24 hours a day for like 4 or 5 days. And so I just had to sit at home, and we had just moved into our apartment. I had nothing set up. So all I had was cable, and we just happened to have HBO. So Just Friends was just on there for whatever reason. And it like was premiering. And so they were playing it like back to back to back. And I just sat there and watched Just Friends for days. I love that movie. And I laughed every time I watch it. I laugh at the same stuff, and it's amazing.
Oh, always. Now I have to ask the question that is on everybody's mind. Do you have superpowers?
You know, I kind of hoped that I would after the ordeal, but no, I do not. It was very sad.
That's disappointing.
Yeah.
Like, what was even the point?
I still have a mark on my foot, though. And this was in 2005 that it happened. So
maybe it's like a long incubation period.
Maybe. I mean,
like
maybe
we're coming up on the 20th anniversary in 2 years. And like, maybe that's when like you suddenly like webs are going to shoot out like fireworks because like it's finally time.
Yeah, that'd be great. Or maybe I do have something and I just haven't tapped into it yet.
Oh, that's also a possibility. Yeah. Like, have you tried? Have you done like the Spidey stance and like the I love you symbol?
I have tried shooting webs and nothing has come out yet. So
maybe just like carry around silly string until it works.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I got you.
I love it. So what is your next?
Okay, this one might be obscure. I don't know if you've seen it. And if you haven't, like, we're stopping this recording right now and you're going to go watch it. Forever, My Girl.
I have seen it.
You have?
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
So fun
that
story.
Movie destroys me.
I spoke with, I did an interview with the author of the book.
I didn't even know it was a book.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It is a book. And you can check out our interview with the author, Heidi, in our back episodes.
See, I did that on purpose. I was just like helping you plug old episodes. You're welcome.
Yeah, actually, she's really cool. She's on Book Talk, and she was so excited to come on and talk on a podcast. So, Yeah, there's a lot of books actually from that series. So
Really?
Mm-hmm.
See, that one, it just like destroys my heart every single time. And so me and my dad grew up watching movies together,
Mm-hmm.
and he cries in any scene that has like a father-daughter thing, like any movie with father-daughter, he will cry and I will make fun of him mercilessly for it. And he says it's only when it's a father and daughter, but he actually cried in Hannah Montana in the breakup scene and in Bride Wars in the makeup scene, which no explanation. But this movie, I saw it and I was immediately like, hey, Dad, you want to have a movie night? I think you will really enjoy this.
Aww.
He was not happy with me after that.
That's so cute. Have you ever played Butterfly Kisses for him?
Was that my Sweet 16 song with him?
I don't know.
No, it wasn't. It was the Tim McGraw. I think it's like My Girl or something. But yes, that is a good one. That also destroys my heart.
Yeah, mine too. Every time I hear that song, I cry.
Well, then also listen to Stealing Cinderella.
Oh, okay.
That one is just sobs.
Oh, I love my dad.
I love you, Daddy.
So my next one is Clueless, which it's not really a rom-com, and yet it was on every rom-com list. And at first, I did not add it to the list. But then when I kept seeing it, I was like, okay, fine. I will add it to the list. And then it actually made it in my top 5. So here we are.
Does that doesn't have Justin Long in it, does it?
No,
that
it has Paul Rudd.
Okay.
And so my very first 4, one of my first 4, it had 16 Candles. And I was like, I justified it for whatever reason. And then when I got to all these other like high school teenage comedy movies, I was like, no, that's more of like a comedy, like a teenage comedy. No. And I didn't put them on my list. And then I did add Clueless. And then I put Clueless versus 16 Candles. And I was like, well, this has Paul Rudd, but this has Jake Ryan. And then I said, I don't know Jake Ryan's real name. And then I did remember it. But I was like, clearly I love Clueless more because I even know the actor's name. So Clueless won.
Who did play Jake Ryan?
It was Michael Kofer, I think. Something like that.
Michael Schofling.
Okay.
Maybe?
Schofling,
is that him?
yeah.
I just Googled it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, Jake Ryan, he's very dreamy.
I haven't seen 16 Candles either.
What? Oh, it's an 80s
I have seen Clueless.
Well, that's good. That was our very first episode we ever did for our podcast. So it kind of had to make the list. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I support it.
So what is your next one?
Okay. Another one that might be, I think it's underrated. The Prince and Me.
Oh, I didn't even think about that one.
I didn't think of it at first, and I'd already had my list, and I had to go in and edit my list because I love that movie. And it's one of those, like, do you have any like obscure movie quotes that you just say constantly and no one gets? This is my number one.
Okay.
Because constantly I'm just like, I'm watching you, Frenchie. And no one has ever picked up on like, that is a movie quote. They're always just like, I'm not French. I'm like, well, neither was he. So like, it's even more relevant, but just no one gets it.
Right. I hate that.
Right.
Actually, so I have a good quote from my next top one, and it's very similar. No one ever gets it either. Yeah. So my next, and I feel like, okay, so I marked hearts around my top 5. And then for 3 of them, I put 4 of them, I put dinosaurs, to remember that they are underrated and they should get more love. So The Truth About Cats and Dogs. Have you ever seen it?
You know, I had that on DVD and I never watched it.
Oh my God, it's so good.
That's not Paul Rudd too, is it?
No. It's
Who's in that?
Janine Garofalo and oh God, I'm drawing a blank.
Hold on, Google.
The girl from Kill Bill.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, it's
about Cats and Dogs. Uma Thurman.
Yeah, Uma Thurman, and it has Jamie Foxx is in it.
Yeah,
it's a good movie. But there's a part where this guy gives Janine Garofalo his jacket, and because she's cold, and she puts her hand in the pocket, and he says something about like, I hope there's nothing weird in the pocket, and she goes and pulls out her hand, and he goes, "You found it, chocolate in my pocket." He had like a little chocolate bar in his pocket.
Okay, first of all, everyone should have chocolate bars in their pocket from now on. That sounds completely necessary.
In my pocket.
I think that has to happen from now on. Also, okay, can we take a dinosaur tangent?
Mm-hmm.
Because, okay, we have the same name, if you hadn't noticed.
Yeah.
And that means like you can also use my favorite dinosaur pickup line.
And what is it?
So
Triceratops related?
It is, but it gets better.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
So I bet you I can guess your second favorite dinosaur. Triceratops. But I know I can guess your first favorite dinosaur.
Mm-hmm.
Triceratops.
Yes.
Favorite pickup line.
I do love that. I'm gonna have to write that down.
Did you meet Steve Stewart when we were at PodFest?
Ooh, I don't know.
Oh, he's one of the best editors in like the FinCon, the like finance podcast space.
Oh wow!
And we shared an Uber back from a dinner at a different conference.
Uh-huh.
And I said that pickup line to him, not actually hitting on him, but just like, you need to hear my favorite pickup line. I'd already had 2 margaritas. It was going like, it had to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I like told him my pickup line. And then the next time I see him at a conference, I said something about like, "Oh, I haven't seen you since I was hitting on you in the back of an Uber." But like, obviously, like he knew I was kidding.
Yeah.
Because I didn't actually hit on him.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that the person standing next to him was his wife.
Oh no.
And he's like, "On that note, meet my wife." And I was mortified.
Oh no.
And I just like quickly just start stuttering like an explanation. And she's just like, "He told me the story. It's fine."
Oh
and now we're friends. But it was just like, okay, I'm never speaking in public again. Okay, thank you for the tangent. We can move on.
Yeah, I used to love Land Before Time. And you would think Sarah, the Triceratops, would have been my favorite. But no, it was Ducky.
Someone even, I saw it like on like Twitter or something, someone saying that all of the names were so clever except for Sarah, and because they spelled it like we spell it.
Mm-hmm.
And the creator commented, "Clearly you don't read because it's Sarah like Triceratops, like they spell it like CERA or something."
Yeah.
Like that is clever. Don't even pretend.
Yeah. Because I always thought it was with the C as well. So
it is. Yeah, no, they don't spell it like us, even though we spell our names differently. Mine's correct.
Well, you and my best friend, same Z's.
So many Sarahs.
I know, right? They were like, "You met another Sarah." I was like, "I can't help it." Okay. We
took a picture of like 3 of us.
Yeah.
And it's funny because at my first ever conference I went to, I also took a picture with 2 other Sarahs.
Yeah.
Because we were just like, "Oh my God, there's 3 of us." So I think that has to be my new tradition. I just have to find Sarahs everywhere I go.
Oh, the first podcast convention I went to, there was a girl at the bar And I was standing next to her and someone said, Sarah. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, oh, you're Sarah? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, oh, so am I. They were talking to me or something. I don't know, something like that. She wasn't bitchy about it, but.
Okay, I was going to say that's like, she sounded kind of like she's not giving Sarah's a good name.
I know, right? And then I walked out and I met the other
Sarah's
Sarah.
are a gentlefolk.
Right. So it was just kind of funny. Like I meet so many Sarahs all over the place.
Which is my mother, when she named me and my sister, she was trying to find like names that would be unique. Mm-hmm. And she named me Sarah. She named my sister Emily.
Oh yeah, no.
Like I think at the time Emily was like the number one name in the country, and Sarah was like number 6. But she really thought she was like cutting edge.
Yeah. I went to kindergarten through high school with 5 Sarahs. So.
See, I only had one in my grade, but we had the same first and middle name.
Oh no.
But she spelled her name with an H, but we were both Sarah Nicole.
Yeah, I was Sarah R through high school because we had to go by our initial of our last name. So.
Yeah, I was Sarah L. She was Sarah R. Oh, look, another Sarah R. Oh my goodness. Is your middle name Nicole?
No.
Oh.
No, mine is not a traditional Sarah middle name. Like usually it's like Sarah Lynn, Sarah Jane, Sarah this, Sarah that. Mine's Sarah Jean.
What is it?
Jean.
Jean, like Jean. Mm-hmm. How that's, you said Sarah Jane as an example, then you just changed the sound.
Yeah, sorry.
So that is, I feel like it still works.
Just like so many people like, oh, are you Sarah Jane? And I'm like, no, Jean.
Swap the letters.
Just flip it around a little.
Close enough. It's just out of order.
Exactly. Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so my last was Prince and Me. Your last was Truth About Cats and Dogs.
Yeah,
okay.
So you're up.
All right. This is another one that I quote from far too often. She's the man.
That's on my list.
It's, oh my God, we finally have a duplicate.
Yep.
Yes. All right, you're gonna have to think of something else because that one's mine.
Oh no.
The amount I think I spent all of college saying my favorite's Gouda.
Yes, I still do. And I actually watched this movie. I tried to watch it on my way to Orlando, but we got to where there was some turbulence or something and the internet went out. So when I was leaving and coming back to Texas, I watched it all over again.
It's so good.
And it had a dinosaur by it, so that's important to me. But I will change it.
That movie, do you know the locker room scene where he just pulls the towel off around his neck and slaps the guy in the face with it? When I tell you, me and my cousin rewound that scene at least 8 times and we're like sobbing, just real tears. Just from that scene, just over and over again.
It's so good. Here's your books.
Oh my God. That's another one that is just underrated.
It's so good. She is fantastic in that movie. Like,
I miss her.
There's so many quotes that I quote on a nearly daily basis just from that movie. Like,
no, it's 1-800-BIATCH.
Yes. You want to, one song that comes in my head a lot is Welcome to Illyria.
Welcome to Illyria. So that's actually a Shakespeare play, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And I actually I read the play and I was just getting so excited because I'm just like, oh my God, that's where that came from.
Yeah, so good.
It chew like you have a secret. Like, oh my God. It's just now I need to go watch that.
Yeah, it's
and
so
it had the best
good.
burn of all time. Like, when my eyes are closed, I see you for what you truly are, which is ugly. And I actually did the tampon trick a couple days ago. I guess I need smaller ones everyone tells me I have the world's smallest nose, so it didn't fit, and I was really disappointed.
It sucks.
No one knows what we're talking about anymore.
That's okay. I mean, if they listen to this podcast, they should know because it's part of our DNA. So,
Yeah, well, because we are badass hunky dudes.
I'm a badass hunky dude. Well,
Girls with asses like mine don't talk to boys with faces like yours.
Burn.
Just like, come on.
It's so good.
So I could recite that movie.
Me too.
Amazing.
I was
okay.
enjoying myself on the flight from Orlando.
Like, I love the movies that it's like, even if you've seen it a million times, you still pay attention.
Exactly. It's so good. So good.
So good. Okay, your turn.
So my next dinosaur is the Cutting Edge.
Is that the one with Maura Kelly?
Yes.
Okay, I haven't seen it. I just know she's in it.
Oh, so good.
It's the ice skating one.
And again, it is not a true rom-com. It's a little bit more, I guess, dark or
calm.
Like, no, it's a little bit more rom than the com.
Oh, more rom than com?
Yeah,
okay.
But there are a lot of fun parts, so it is on my list.
Okay. I'll allow it.
What you got?
I'll allow it. Okay. Where was that on my list? Okay, the next one, Sweet Home Alabama.
Oh, that is on my list too. Damn.
See, this is why we let me go first.
Yep.
That one is another one that I'm just like constantly quoting. What you want to be married to me for anyway? So I can kiss you anytime I want.
Duh.
Just,
it's so good.
Melts me.
And I love his voice, and he does. I
love his face.
Oh, well, yes. But I listen to a lot of apps, like podcast apps and other stuff. And his, I think it's Lowe's or Home Depot commercial comes on almost daily, multiple times a day. And I'm just like, oh, Josh, I love your voice.
So good. And he also has the bluest eyes of anybody in existence.
Just because I talk slow doesn't mean I'm stupid.
Oh my God, I say that constantly. Which it makes me sad because I actually talk really fast, so I can't even use that line in true context.
It's true.
Oh my God, can you hear my Roomba talking to me right now?
How dare your Roomba?
Like, sir, I'm in the middle of something. Okay.
We have important things going on here, Roomba.
Seriously, I named him Bruce because it's actually a shark.
Aw. So my next dinosaur is Palm Springs. Have you heard of it?
I haven't even heard of that. Okay.
So it has Andy Samberg and oh God, I can't think of her name. She's the mom from How I Met Your Mother. But
okay,
it is so good. So good. And it's basically a spin on Groundhog Day, but I think it's better than Groundhog Day. I love this movie. It's so good.
Kristen Milioti?
Yes. I knew it was Kristen. I just couldn't remember what her last name was.
Kristen with a C.
Yeah.
Original. I haven't even heard of that one.
Yeah, it's really, really funny. It came out like right at the beginning of the pandemic. And so I watched it and I was like, this is really funny. And then we watched it again like a couple months ago. It's so good. I enjoy it.
I will have to try it.
Yes. But they're both in on it. That's what the great part is. So they get to live the same day again and again together. So I think that's why I like it better than Groundhog Day, because that one, he was just on his own. And it was on the list. On every single list I looked up for best rom-coms, Groundhog Day was on there. It was like in the top 5. And I was like, yes.
Wait, Groundhog Day was?
Uh-huh. I was on every list I looked at.
I thought Groundhog Day was like a war movie.
No, Groundhog Day is when He keeps reliving the same day over and over. It's Groundhog Day every day.
For some reason, I thought it was like, but like, yes, that, but like it was like during like a war.
No.
Does it not have Will Smith in it?
No.
I'm thinking Independence Day.
Yeah.
I'm so good at this. So good at this.
Oh, that's hilarious. No,
I just the two plots just completely just melded in my mind. Repeat the same war day.
There's a war because it's Groundhog's Day. How dare you?
It's like the 100 Days War, but they're just all the same day.
We wanted to have spring. Damn you, Groundhog.
A war against rodents.
The aliens are pissed about this whole spring debacle.
Can we make this a movie?
I think we should.
Aliens versus groundhog.
Who would
Epic
win?
battle.
Huh.
I mean, it depends on like the alien. I feel like if it was like E.T., like he would lose.
I think it depends on how big the groundhog is, like in comparison to how big the alien is.
Possibly. But I feel like, okay, the groundhog could easily like go and like get like the raccoons on its side, and like raccoons are scrappy.
That is true. They have hands, so
they do. Like if once the groundhogs like join forces with like and the mongooses, mongoose, which one I don't know, which I learned very late in life are not actually birds.
Yeah, no, they're terrifying animals.
Yeah. So like I feel like they've got some scrap in them.
Yeah.
And then E.T. just seems like he's scared of everything. So like he would lose.
Good point. We should someone needs to make this happen. Seriously.
And then we have to see if like Stuart Little versus like a street rat. That's another one I want to see.
Ooh, I need to look at my list.
Okay. Back on track. Next on your list.
Oh, I just did Palm Springs. So
okay.
Next on your list.
Okay. This is another one that I almost didn't put because like the rom is not as prevalent as the com. Mm-hmm. But the Princess Diaries.
Okay.
I love so much everything about it. The amount of times I've made the weird moose sound that Paolo makes. So good.
I love Voltaire hair.
Voltaire.
I want to hear about Voltaire.
So good. Just so many moments.
I love it. My next one is 27 Dresses.
I knew you'd have that. I knew it.
Which is funny because I don't really care for Katherine Heigl that much, but I love this movie. And it was on the other day, and I was like, oh, hey, it's on. And I feel like
there was like a 2-year period where that movie showed every single day.
Yes. And if it's on TV, I am watching it regardless. The Benny and the Jet scene gets me every time. I love it.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like her in what is that one where like she ends up with a baby she was not expecting.
Oh yeah.
Just Go With It.
Yeah.
I think no, that's a different movie.
No, that's
an Adam Sandler movie. Just forget I spoke.
But Josh Duhamel and her, and they have to.
I love him more than I should.
Right.
Considering no one knows who he is.
What? I think people know who he is, right?
Really? I feel like no one ever says his name.
Oh. I know who he is because I used to watch All My Children, and he was Leo on All My Children. And
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. I know way too much about Josh Duhamel.
Is that how you say his name? I thought it was Josh Duhamel.
So I just heard him on a podcast the other day, and he said exactly how you're supposed to say his name, and I actually don't remember. I think Jamal is correct, but I don't remember.
Oh, it's Life as We Know It is the one I was thinking.
Yes.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. So what is your next one then?
Okay. Where was I? Something Borrowed.
Oh, I didn't even think of that one. Oh my God.
What? I that was one of the ones that like I knew was going to be a little obscure.
Oh.
But like that one, like that was immediately on my list. And I was offended that it was only when I looked up like underrated movies, I was offended it was on there because I'm like, who is underrating this absolutely perfect film?
Okay, so the only reason why I probably didn't think about it is because I'm so pissed that they never did the part 2.
I know. There's 3.
Did you ever read the books?
Oh, I've read everything she's written.
Okay, so the second
Shout out to
book
Emily Giffin
is my favorite. And
yes.
when I saw the movie and they had the extra little scene at the end showing what number 2 would be like, I was so excited. And they've never done it. And it makes me so mad.
Now, okay, controversial take. I thought the movie was better than the book.
So I read the book first.
I read the book first too, and I loved the book.
Yeah.
And then I discovered it was a movie.
Okay. I knew it was a movie. So I can separate books from movies. So I don't know if I love the book more, but I love the movie as well. I've watched that tons of times. It just makes me mad every time I watch it that the second one is not a thing.
I love the movie. I thought it was better. I mean, I love the book, but I thought the movie was better specifically because of they changed the characters. Mm-hmm. So in the movie, they put John Krasinski as Ethan.
Yeah.
And they made him a like main character. Mm-hmm. But he was only as like a side character in the book.
Yes.
And I think it was Claire was actually more of a character than she was in the movie. Mm-hmm. But I thought his character just made the whole movie.
Oh, yeah. But I didn't like how they made it seem like he was in love with her because he wasn't in the book, at least.
No, yes, he was.
Like, I think they realized they were just more friends than anything.
I thought he, because he does confess his love for her in the movie. I thought that was legit.
No, in the book, I'm almost positive in the book he does not.
Oh my God, I got to go back and read it again.
Yeah. Because like, why would he leave and go to Europe if that was the case? Like, I don't know.
Because she was in love with Dex. And he wanted to be a writer.
But I feel like he didn't know that she was in love with Dex until later.
No, he always knew. I thought maybe. Oh God, now I gotta read the book again.
I think she knew that he was in love with Dex before she started dating him. But I don't think.
Well, she's been in love with Dex since college.
Yeah, no, I know.
And her biggest regret ever was introducing Dex to Darcy.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, Eggleford, that's his last name. I can't think of it. Colin. Yeah. He was also on All My Children.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
on My Children as well.
Right now borrowing Something Borrowed as the audiobook so I can listen to it. I have it on my shelf, but I like audiobooks. Cause I gotta fact check this.
I could very well be wrong, but for some reason I didn't think he was in love with her at all. Or maybe like when they were really young he was, but I don't think he was when they were adults.
Now I it'll be in the show notes when we figure this out. Stay tuned, guys.
Yes,
we will find out. Because now I'm concerned.
So
But
my
that is
next
great.
one was 16 Candles, which we already talked about.
Mm-hmm.
I love Anthony Michael Hall. He is greatness, and that is a perfect movie. Plus Jake Ryan, you know.
Fair. Yeah, I probably should watch that at some point in my life.
And there's so many quotes in the movie. So many good quotes. So definitely one to check out.
Okay.
All right, what's your next one?
10 Things I Hate About You.
That is on my list. Which we knew would
How many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh wait, that was 11.
You've had 11?
Yeah, I think we've done. I think we hit all 10.
Well, we couldn't have.
Or do I just not know how to count?
I don't think you know how to count.
Pretend I don't work in finance.
Oh, maybe I did do way more than I thought. Okay.
Yeah, no, that was 11 because I remember that one was going to be one of my backups in case you stole any of mine, which instead I stole all of yours.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm very sorry.
It
just means you have good taste.
That's true. Yes.
But 10 Things I Hate About You does still deserve to be mentioned anyway because it is just it's adorable.
Do you want to go through the other movies you have, just like rapid fire?
Okay. The Proposal.
I have that. Mm-hmm.
Of course, naturally. I did put Love Actually as a backup, even though I do not consider it a rom-com. That is a Christmas movie. I will die on this hill.
I also have that on my list.
And then Bridget Jones's Diary.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't pick that one.
I didn't see that until I was an adult, and that came out, and I'm pretty sure like before I was born. But it is adorable. I had to put it.
It's a really good movie.
Yep.
So I have 2 weeks notice.
Okay.
While You Were Sleeping, which also has Sandra Bullock.
Love her.
Which is a great movie. I have 13 Going on 30.
I knew you would.
She's All That, which is great. And
did you ever see He's All That?
Yes. Okay. We actually, for those of you wondering, we recovered both She's All That and He's All That in our past episodes. So go find it. Listen to it today. We also did, our Bridesmaids. That was my other one.
Bridesmaids as a rom-com.
Yeah.
See, I think of that more as just like a comedy.
Well, see, this is where I'm a hypocrite because very much, yes, it is a comedy. But, I mean, she's with the officer almost the entire movie. They have a lot of scenes together. So, ergo, rom-com.
Okay. I'll allow it.
So,
I'll allow it.
But yeah,
that's
our list.
I had pulled up the cast of Something Borrowed because I couldn't think of John Krasinski's name. And Ashley Williams is the one who plays Claire. And she is on my list of just like underrated actresses.
Yes, I love her.
She is like forever a side character. And like she has main character energy.
Exactly.
She's fantastic.
People love her sister. I always loved her.
Her sister.
Ashley Williams. Or not Ashley Williams. Oh my God. Kimberly
Don't tell me
Williams.
it's like Haley Williams.
Kimberly Williams. She's the daughter in Father of the Bride. She's married to
Brad Paisley?
Yeah, Brad Paisley.
Oh, I didn't know that was okay.
Yeah. Like if you don't know their sisters, you probably wouldn't guess that that's her sister. But when you know that they're sisters, if you see them, they look exactly alike. They look very similar.
They do look similar.
Yeah. But if you didn't know that, you would have no idea.
It's like Emily and Zoe Deschanel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They are both fantastic in their own right.
Yeah. When I found out Emily, that was her last name, I was like, wait. Is she?
Because that's not like a common, sister? Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God, are they related? And then I was like, oh, I totally see it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They have the same like massive doe eyes.
Yes. Jerks. They're cute
For
faces.
Sure.
Well.
And no, I think we did good. I think we nailed it. We got the best ones.
I think we did. I was really sad that While You Were Sleeping was not further up on my list, but I put it down too late. And I was like, I have way too many Sandra Bullock movies on my list.
Okay, first of all, no such thing.
That's true.
As
I didn't
too
even
many.
put The Miscongeniality, and I was like, damn it.
Oh my God, I almost put that one too.
Yeah, I was like,
that was going to be one of my backups.
That would have been 4. I would have had 4 Sandra Bullock movies on
Well,
here.
because, okay, Sandy is like the queen of rom-coms.
Yeah.
She's like the Matthew McConaughey of rom-coms.
And then my sister was like, yeah, her and, oh goodness, what is her name? Melanie Griffith? No. Not Melanie Griffith. Megan. Oh my God, what is wrong with my brain? When Harry Met Sally.
Name the movie. Oh, Meg Ryan?
Meg Ryan, thank you. I was like, Megan. No. Meg Ryan. I didn't have any of hers on my list. And she's in a lot of rom-coms.
Also, Jennifer Goodwin is another just like underrated.
Love her.
But did you watch Once Upon a Time?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that her and Prince Charming are actually married in real life.
No, right?
Just destroys my heart.
I love it. When a Date with Tad Hamilton should have been on
that's
my list.
Underrated. That's underrated. Come on, you left out another Josh Duhamel.
I know, right?
Dumel, whatever.
So hot. Love Josh.
You know, I found that one on one of the lists of underrated movies.
Really?
It was on one of them.
See, it's not underrated to me. Like, I love that movie, and I don't even know if I would have thought of underrated movies, because to me, it should be on a list.
Well, because I looked at the list, like all the lists of like the top ever.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, A, I haven't seen half of these, and B, like they are missing the best ones. So I'm like, if I'm going to find the best ones, they're not on these lists. They have to be like underrated.
Mm-hmm. I almost went out and just looked through my DVD collection and to do my list, but I didn't.
You know what I've been wanting to do?
What?
Use the Something Borrowed movie to learn the salt and pepper dance.
Right? I have done that several times.
I've been telling myself like I need to learn it, and I was even so disappointed because I was at a conference this week, and one of the closing parties they played that song, and I didn't know it yet, and I'm like I haven't forgiven myself for that yet. I'm working on it, but I need my therapist is going to get a raise, but I need to learn that dance.
Are you going to the one in Colorado in August?
I don't know. I applied to speak. If I get accepted to speak, I'll go. But there's one in August in Austin. And so I'm definitely going to go to that one. I believe I'm already speaking at that one. So naturally I'm going. I think I'm sponsoring it. But I would choose the Austin one over Denver because it's close. And I'm lazy and don't feel like flying.
Yeah, we're driving to Colorado.
Oh, how far is that?
I don't know, but we're gonna have fun.
Gonna do it anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. I have 2 dogs, so that makes it like tricky. Mm-hmm. So, does anyone here want to borrow a pit bull and a German Shepherd for a couple days? Because then I'll go. They are a great time.
Could, practice the dance between now and then, and really
oh my God, like
show our stuff.
I'm going to be learning that this week. I can promise you.
And I may be bringing the bubble wand. You know,
coming in clutch with that bubble wand.
It was great.
Fantastic. I actually went to Disney after Podfest because my flight was canceled.
Oh no.
So my bonus day that I did not want to have, I spent just at downtown Disney or Disney Springs, whatever they call it now.
Yeah.
I did that just that night because I was bored and everyone had already left. But I did there's a donut place in Disney Springs that has A, massive donuts, and B, a fruity pebble donut.
Oh, was it Voodoo Donuts?
No.
Oh, okay.
Is there a Voodoo Donut at Disney?
No, it was in that Universal Studios park.
Oh, that one. Yeah. There's one in Austin. So that I have been there, and yes, they are amazing.
See,
but it was just a random donut place, and it was it was so good. What?
I wonder if it's just because like they maybe had been sitting there all day. I got like a sour cake donut or something. And
okay, well, you didn't even get the best donut.
Yeah, it was kind of dry. I was a little sad
because it's a cake donut. Cake donuts are dry.
But it was like dry.
Come
like, it was stale dry.
Oh,
because I love a good cake donut. Big fan.
Oh, see, I love the like the Boston cream. Mm-hmm. Like I don't know when I became addicted, but it has happened, and it's a problem. But I went to Universal while I was there, and I got the giant, like the Simpsons donut that's like a cake.
Yeah.
And me and another Sarah, who was she's my book publisher, we went together and we sat there and ate the entire thing. Oh, and wow. It was rough.
Yeah, I saw they had at Voodoo Donut they had a Texas-sized donut. Mm-hmm. It's called the Texas donut or something. And I was like, oh, that's hilarious. If I thought I could have made that back to Texas with it, I totally would have got it for my dad.
They have them in Austin. Just come visit and then bring it back.
Oh, there we go. It's good.
It's on 6th Street.
It's only like 2.5 hours away.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
We're doing a podcast and meet up on Wednesday. Let's go.
Hey. I'd get there way after the meeting was already over, but I could do it.
And then we'll get donuts. Who cares?
Then I'll turn around and come back for work.
With donuts.
With donuts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Which you can eat while watching a movie and see it all connects.
While watching one of these rom-coms we have listed.
On our top 10 best ever.
Happy Valentine's Day.
We love you.
Well, thank you so much, Sarah, for being on. Anything you want to plug?
Oh, well, thank you for having me. This was so much fun. I mean, if anyone wants to follow me on social media, I think I'm funny. Most people disagree. But @_Sarah Losi. And I make bad dad jokes and hit on people using dinosaurs.
Well, and you also are a financier. You know all about finances.
I am an accredited financial counselor. Hit me up if you need a budget because I am a nerd and like to play with budgets, even though I don't have one for myself because I have no self-control. Do as I say, not as I do.
I bought a $32 bubble wand. Let's not talk about.
We need to have another conversation.
Hey, I could afford it and I wanted it, so I got it. All right.
I mean, you are an adult. I bought a 14-pound donut and ate it. So, who am I to talk?
Exactly. Well, thank you again so much. This has been fantastic.
Thank you.
All right.
And happy Valentine's Day.
Yes. Happy Valentine's Day for all you lovers out there. Whatever. Us single people, we're just going to watch these movies that we have listed.
And eat donuts.
Eat our feelings.
My feelings taste like donuts.
Yes. So do mine. With sprinkles. All right, guys. Well, until next time. Bye. This episode was produced by Two Chicks Talkin Flicks. Music was produced by Michael Giovanni. If you like this episode, please like and subscribe. If you'd like to be a part of the show, have a movie suggestion, or just want to give us some love, you can email us at twochickstalkinflicks@gmail.com. Thanks, guys. Toodles.